You only get one chance to make a first impression. Now, let me tell you why that's important, because human beings are super, super weak by nature. We're feeble. We don't have strong bones or strong muscles. Most of the animal kingdom would be able to just kill us outright. Our advantages is that we have tools and we work in groups. So much of this life is dependent on other people, and having other people support you and help you with their skills, and you have skills that complement them, and to make sure that you have that kind of synergistic relationship with others, you need to make sure that you make a great first impression when building these relationships. Imagine us human beings way back when, during the Ice Age, where megafauna is walking around. You have your saber-toothed tigers, you have your short-faced bears that are just running at ridiculous speeds and much larger than even a polar bear. And so it's really, really important for human beings to have come together into these larger groups and created these relationships. And what does making a first impression mean? An impression, impress, when you are pressing something into something else. When you had the printing press that just came out in Europe, you would take a mold that is pre-made and pre-cut, and you would press it into a material, which in this case was paper, and it would create the books that we have today, the printing press. So you're creating the very foundation of a relationship with somebody else when you are making them a first impression. There is no such thing in this world as a self-made man. Every single other person has had help from somebody else to achieve their goals and success. No man is an island. And in fact, it is almost impossible to exist in a vacuum. You're either learning from other people or you're working with other people. There's a division of labor. There is a division of resources, a division of intelligence to make something happen. Imagine you were just thrown in the desert. How many generations would it take for people to completely forget all of the information that others have for them? So you're always interacting with other people, even when you're reading a book, even when you're buying a product. That is built upon the intelligence and the labor of other people, and you need to learn how to leverage that and leverage other people through relationships. So let me tell you how to make it an amazing first impression when you meet somebody. It is very important to be very well groomed. Your facial hair should be trimmed to look neat. It doesn't need to look amazingly in line. It just needs to look like this person cares about their appearance enough to groom themselves. So your beard, learn to trim that. Find a facial hairstyle that works for you. It could easily be just clean shaven. Loads of people look great like that. Some people are pushing a kind of a rough, greasy beard when they shouldn't be. If I see somebody approaching me and they have like rough facial hair, like maybe some spots, maybe their face is greasy, they don't take care of their hair, it's long, I instantly am skeptical of anything that person says from now on, because a person who doesn't respect themselves and their own appearance is not going to respect me and like anything that I have to offer and speak to them about. So really just make sure your appearance is neat. That's all you need to do. You don't need to look like a supermodel. You just need to look neat and well put together. And that not only means trimming your nails. Women, as a matter of fact, will look at people's hands, will look at people's nails and judge it. Because think about it, a woman gets her nails done, so she's already like fixated on that idea. She's looking at other girls' nails, she's looking at men's nails. So there's this old adage of women check out your nails, women check out your shoes, right? Because shoes are also a great indicator of what somebody looks like. Where have they been? Where are they going? Like the old Forrest Gump quotes. But realistically, it's more than that. It's, how well put together are you? Wearing white shoes is a statement to the world. It's saying that, hey, I am so well cleaned and well groomed and respect myself so much that I keep these shoes clean and white, and it's a statement to the world. So really there's a lot about style that comes into action as well. What is the message that you're trying to communicate with your style, with your fashion, with your image? What are you trying to say non-verbally to other people through your clothing that you are choosing to wear? So make sure that the clothing is well fitted. It doesn't have to be designer, it doesn't have to be expensive, it doesn't have to be elaborate. It just has to look nice on your body shape. And we're going to make tons of videos about this stuff, so don't worry. But just dressing for your body shape, dressing for your form of subculture or self-expression, or the message you're trying to send out, that is imperative. How somebody looks, even though we say we don't want to be superficial, we all judge people based on looks. We judge everything based on looks. It's a natural human thing to do. So make sure you look the part. So when somebody else looks at you, they get a positive impression. Another thing is, don't talk too much about yourself. Be humble. Learn to be a listener. Ask 5 questions before you answer one. And I have just become this person in general. I used to love talking about myself, and now I hate it. I'm more of a man of few words. I try to be quiet. I try to be mysterious, and it's the response you get from other people is like night and day. When I was a little bit cocky, a little bit younger, and I would always be trying to be the center of attention, and I'd always try to be like telling people about me, or whatever. People don't like that. People don't want to hang out with those people. You think you're cool in the moment. You think this person's thinking, oh, they're so cool, but where are they in the equation? A relationship is 50-50. It has to involve the other person for it to exist. So ask questions and be genuinely interested in the other person. Literally listen and repeat back to them what they've said to you, and they will be just blown away. Use their name often. I use people's name often. It builds trust. There's a psychological element to it where it's like, oh, you recognize me as the word or the sound that I have chosen to be, and you validate that through saying it at me, and you see me in a way. When somebody uses my name, I'm instantly like, this person kind of knows me a little bit more than that person who never used my name. So use people's names. Be like, oh, hey, Frederick, how are you doing? And it's hard to remember it, but there'll be other videos on how to remember people's names. Make sure that you give a good handshake, right? Make sure it's not hard. I've seen people, they shake my hand, it's hard. And it's like, what are you trying to do here? You're trying to break my hand? Are you overcompensating or something? So make sure it's not too hard. Make sure it's not too soft. That tells people you don't really care. I shake somebody's hand and it's just like a limp fish. I'm like, yo, dude, I don't think I like you that much, or you don't like me. I'm getting a bad vibe. I'm getting a bad first impression from this person. Also, don't be weird shaped. Just let that hand just slide in as maximum as you can, because the other person might also mess it up. So it's not all down to you, but slide it in firm. Look them in the eye, direct eye contact. That's a beautiful handshake. Do the direct eye contact with people on a regular basis as well. People love eye contact. Being able to look into somebody's eyes, that forms a relationship. You're seeing each other. There's something to a human's eyes that is deeply like psycho-spiritual. And so make eye contact, but not too much, right? Look away every now and then. If a person is just staring you down, that's also a little creepy, right? Don't be creepy. Don't say creepy things. Just try to be plain and just ask questions. It's very simple. It's like a backseat talker, and people love that. People love talking about themselves. Absolutely love it. Be a genuinely warm, nurturing person. Talk to somebody with your heart. Open up and just speak to them like you genuinely care, right? And you should genuinely care. You should genuinely be asking questions because you want to get to know them. That's the psychic shift that you have to achieve. That's the shift in paradigm, in worldview that you have to achieve if you want to be good at this, is genuinely be interested. And the person will get that received, and they will have an amazing impression of you. There is that saying by Carl Jung himself, amazing psychologist. He said, learn on the methods, master all the techniques, but when faced with another human soul, be just another human soul. And that is incredibly powerful, because it really just means be a person to another person. It doesn't matter who you are. Stop thinking you're better than them or worse than them. Just connect with another human being. That is a different expression of you. It is the same expression of divine as you. It is another cog, another cell that makes up this greater conscious creature that we are all a part of, right? The vibration of the universe. They are as much a being of light as you are. They are having an experience. They are expressing themselves into the world, and you should be curious. You should be interested. What is going on with them? What I've noticed is when I have prejudices about somebody, and then I get to know them, all those prejudices were bullshit. People are so freaking interesting, and they have their own struggles, their own stories. Prejudices, while they do keep you safe, they don't help you thrive, or they don't help anyone thrive. And so if you're judging somebody, but then you get to know them and you find out they're more likely like you than you could have ever imagined, that's a powerful thing to do. So really practice that technique, practice that approach. And hey, networking is so important. Seeing somebody for the first time, making a great first impression with body language, with how you hold yourself, with how you speak, how you communicate. At the end of it, have a call to action. Get their phone number, get their email, get their business card, and tell them how you can give them value. People love it when they're receiving value. Don't ask for anything. give them something. You could very much, instead of saying, I want an hour of your time to pick your brain, just be like, hey, I'd love to volunteer with you for an hour. Like, your organization seems really, really interesting, and I'd love to just see what happens. And hopefully I can give you some like great perspectives. I can give you some great ideas. I can shed my own skills on you in such a way. But really, you're trying to spend time with them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, reframe it so it's always a value add. You're giving them something, and so make those relationships. Get that book of contact. Create a network and use people that you can leverage, for this thing. Maybe somebody is going to be a friend, maybe somebody is going to be a mentor, maybe somebody is going to be someone you mentor. So it's very important for you to have a network. Maybe somebody's going to be a mechanic, you call at 3 a.m., or a lawyer, you call at 3 a.m. You never know how you might leverage these people. So recently, for example, I was doing a cold plunge in the sea here in Vancouver, in beautiful British Columbia, and I was in there, and a guy was next to me in the water, and we were just both cold plunging, and we just started talking, and we kind of had a bit of a connection. As we left, I was just about to go back to my bag and say bye to him. I thought, hey, what are you into? He told me he's a videographer, and I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, I do photography, I do video editing, I do marketing. And I'm like, I need people like that. I need somebody like that, right? And I took his number, and it led to a very fruitful relationship. I could have very easily not gotten his details. So make sure there's a call to action, try to plan things ahead, give them value, and really just focus on making a great first impression.